Hello, good morning, everybody, or evening, or, time zone. Welcome back to a Toonkind at 12 frames per second. My name is Whis. I'm one of your players for today, and I am playing Junior Detective Little Rye Stagehand. And I have two very wonderful roleplay buddies I've got over here. Gestures to the first person in my list. Here's my bestie, you're my love. Jazz hands.
My head is in my hands. We did this again. We let you talk. Right. I'm top of the order. Hi everyone, it's me, the Vwild, here on the bullshit as always. And I'm in my wonderful home with my wonderful detective monkey at your service.
And in the red corner we have...
Oh dear. Hi, I'm Quinn. I go by plenty of names, but since Quinn the character is not in this particular game, just Quinn is fine. I'm here with my very befuddled sorcerer. His name is Kirian. He's trying to get paperwork in order. God help him.
Wonderful. Alright. Well, the last time that Kirian interacted with anyone from the Stagehands Requiem agency, it was definitely a bit befuddled, I would say. But you were left with some contact details, weren't you?
Yes, he asked for them specifically because he has a plot device, and it's nice to know that he can call for help if things go sideways.
Alright. Well, I'll leave it in your capable hands. Go ahead and set the scene.
Well, Kirian has been thinking of getting paperwork for a while because, one, he is literally living in a motel room, and that's not a good long-term residency solution. So he would like to... Unfortunately, he doesn't really have paperwork that would let him be able to, rent an apartment. But Rye had said that he could, he could find a way to help with that, ? So he's gonna basically call and let them know that he's gonna come over because he would like to get some kind of paperwork in order so he could potentially rent an apartment and not be living in a motel.
So, alright.
He probably pulls out the plot device, dials the number he was given, and calls the Stagehands Requiem.
I'm just gonna roll a D3 on something because it amuses me whether we get the straight call, the go to answering machine call, or the another thing happens. So I'm just gonna see, just real quick. Just gonna see. D3. Right. So.
Ever knows what we want.
Yeah. So, Kirian, you're calling. And it does start to go to an answer machine sort of thing. It's just... hello, you've reached the Stagehands Requiem Detective Agency. My name's Detective Littleton Stagehand, and of course, Junior Detective Rice Stagehand. We're currently not in at the moment, so... And then it starts going through the, if you are in a dire emergency of extreme death, call 1. If you're in extreme doom, call 2. If you have lost your dog, call 3. And right as it's just started to go through, the phone picks up, you think? Roll me a... I'm gonna say wisdom because this is sound. Roll me a whiz save.
Oh, concern. What is your wisdom again, my boy? A whiz save? Oh, right, it's that.
Oh, goody. Wonderful. Love it.
Oh, a 13! That's not abysmal.
That's brilliant! Because while this is going on, Lynn's agency has been through so much shit that it starts tracking calls and figuring out who it could potentially be while this thing is playing. So, if there was a mob boss who was going to start calling, we'd get on that quicker. A network's figured out this could be a potential friend. And Kirian, you are lucky that your head isn't super pressed close to this speaker because there is the loudest, spontaneous hum. Very, very loud, energetic hum that seems to vibrate your phone. And the vague sound of wind chimes. You don't even know where those are coming from, but they're there.
He probably fumbles the phone for a second just because it's so unexpected.
Bless.
Then just kind of holds it up to his ear very carefully and goes, hello?
And what comes after that is this long series of hums. Kirian, you can't understand what the fuck is being said, mate.
That's not surprising. He might be able to pick up on tone from the tune, but,
This is the strangest... You don't even know what instrument it is. It's not like it's someone humming normally. Like, you can tell it's not someone's lips doing the humming. But it's not like a flute or anything. It sounds like pipes. Maybe? It's not a bagpipe, and it's just... This humming kind of just happens for a bit at full volume and then just stops. And it's kind of as though that Robian side.
okay.
For shiggles.
Well, the thing is, Kirian has actually been on the edge of Halloween Town before. And he was in a building that he did not find out until, like, near the very end of the game was alive. It was a little disconcerting. Where is your insight again? Oh, there it is. Ah, yes. So, the idea that he might be hearing an organ or something is certainly not out of place. He's been on the edge of it. He's somewhat familiar with that concept. Oh, that's a 14. That's not bad.
Nice. So with that, you had this idea of the humming of a tone. It seemed happy. It seemed warm. You think? Probably. And with that pause, you kind of get the idea as though you've been asked a question and you've got no idea what it is. It's like someone talking in another language as though they think you know it and then looking at you with the expectant, yeah, of waiting for you to answer.
I'm going to roll Raya Perception while you do this. I'm going to do it with my actual dice. Excellent, Raya, well done.
Kirian starts speaking because, okay, I've been asked a question. I should say something to at least acknowledge that I've heard it. Hello. This is the little the stagehand detective agency, isn't it? I'm looking for Rye.
And you know what, for shiggles, right, one of the reasons why you get such a high perception is, where are you in the house right now?
He was probably in his office, to be honest.
So, right, you heard the phone go. You heard it cut off, so your mum might be at it, but your mum's in her office at the moment, you're pretty sure, but it does root through there. And then you hear happy humming. And then there's probably something on your desk that Network nudges usually to get your attention. She just straight up flips whatever's on your desk in the just flips the object.
There's just this pause as he's processed all these bits of information. Oh, Mum picked up the phone. Wait, she's not on the phone. Oh. Network, are you on the phone?
Network on phone! Network is phone! On time!
Lynn is just going to see Ride like just trotting at a pretty quick clip out of his office towards the main phone. Why did you answer the phone?
Network helping! Network have fun time! Network have link, have phone! Say many things on phone. Network like phone. Network making friends!
Oh gosh, network. Okay, he's just gonna pick up the receiver. Hello. Sorry about that. Thank you for calling the Stagehand Requiem Detective Agency. This is Junior Detective Little Rice Stagehand. How can I help you?
Network said that. Just you get the most petulant. Network already said all of this several times. It's the Stagehand Requiem Agency. She said this. No one understands.
Network. They can't speak network speech. Shush.
Hello, Rye.
Oh, Kirian! Hi! Sorry about Network. She's very enthusiastic and she likes to help. Don't you, Network?
Kirian is getting none of the words at all. It is just pure humming.
He hears Rye's end of the conversation.
Yes.
I see. I was just calling. You said that your agency might be able to help with some paperwork.
Oh, yeah, we can definitely help with that.
I was just. I wanted to stop by for help with that.
Of course, you can come by. My card has the address on it, so you can come by whenever you want. We're working in the office today and for the next couple of days, if I've got anything to say about it. So just pop in when you're free.
All right. I wanted to call beforehand instead of appearing unannounced.
That's sensible. We might have been off on a case or something, so it would be a shame for you to come all this way and we're not here.
Yes. I think a day or two would be all right, if possible.
All right. If you're going to be any longer than that, though, let us know. Okay?
I will. Thank you, and tell Network it was nice meeting them.
You'll meet her proper when you get here. Don't worry about that.
All right. See you then. And
All right.
and he hears the all right, and he hangs up because he said farewell.
Fair enough. Click. Network. He's just gonna pat the wall fondly.
Network is completely just content for the did a thing. And also, I just want to imagine just there's Rye patting the wall. There's that phone call that just happened. We pan over to Lynn's office where she's got her head in her hand. Because while Rye was just talking, Network decided to fill her in because it's important. And Lynn just realised my son didn't answer the phone first. I thought my son answered the phone first when I heard it ring and stop. Why?
I love that they both did the same thing. Oh, the other must have answered the phone. Nope, it was Network.
She was about to get up, realised that someone else had got it, was just like, they'll let me know in a second if I need to get it. No.
The house decided to get it to it first.
Lol, it was a house call.
Thank you for getting the joke. Straight up. Thank you for calling up. That is the exact reason why I set up that pun.
Beautiful. But yes, within roughly 2 days, Kirian arrives in Halloween Town following the address he was given, and he heads up.
Hey Kirian, before you reach the door, can you do me one solid? Because you're in Halloween Town.
What am I rolling?
Roll me survival.
Oh, joy. What the heckity heck was your survival? I can't remember the last time I used your survival.
This town bullies people. It's brilliant.
Oh yeah, it was that. Oh!
This town shall not bully you today.
I think I have.
Kara's taking a look at Kirian and going, this kid is on a mission. That's fine.
Well, the other
There's
thing
also-
is, he did do something in honor of being in Halloween Town. One of the things he owns is a cloak of the bat.
Aww.
He put it on and figured, if I'm going to Halloween Town, why not?
I better look spoopy.
Bless. I love him. He's brilliant.
Plus, he's also very good at navigating cities, because his background is urchin.
Bless. This town usually shuffles things around left, right, and center, and we love it. At the same time, today, someone prevails. Distantly, Gregory's probably getting...
I was just about to say Gregory is being bullied somewhere else.
There are so many residents of this town now that are bullyable. So it's just Kara's out there doing all that sort of stuff, bullying other people today. Network's guest is going to get a one-time pass.
Yeah. For the audience, Kirian rolled a dirty 20. His survival is +1.
Excellent.
I love this so much.
Alright. Well, you make your way down the very many winding streets of Halloween Town. And, Vwild, do you want to describe our most lovely agency?
Indeed, because it's had a bit of an upgrade semi-recently. It is a wonderful building. It's one of the bits to note is it does look kind of like the local area a bit. Not much, but she's, well, a lot more than she used to. But this kind of semi-gothic, I guess is the right word, but definitely got the wood paneling and the brickwork. And
It's a cottage.
Okay. It's got a tower. It's got a tower with a golden flag, and it's got glowing windows that they've tried to put, curtains over so we don't blind everyone when it's nighttime. There's a lot of pumpkins. It's very homey.
But it is a multi-story manor house. It's huge.
Yeah. It's a multi-story manor house next to several shops and cafes. Like, there's this... It's a very nice, quaint street. A very Nightmare Before Christmas houses and a ghost host cafe. It looks wonderful. A lot of ghosts inside. And then you've got this giant manor house.
It looks like someone... This is going to sound weird, but to me it looks like someone crossed a manor house with one of those comfortable, like, old-time cottages, the ones with the straw roofs and
That is exactly the vibe. That is 100% the vibe.
You've got the perfect
it's like
name.
fancy but cozy, somehow perfectly meshed. I love it.
Exactly.
Perfect. Yep.
All it took was network eating a building. And, divine intervention.
Oh, that's funny. But
It's brilliant. We love it.
but this is the building that the business card he was given directs him to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
My single question, and this is to Whis mainly. What kind of business card out of the two kinds that we've come up with, or I've come up with in the past, is it a proper or a decoy?
It's a decoy. He doesn't give out the proper ones that often.
Indeed. Lynn thought he was smart enough on that one. It was just a quick, I'm gonna check.
Yep.
But he goes up to the door and very politely knocks. Because he's a polite boy and his mama raised him with proper manners. Which is, you don't just open the door even if you technically already have an invitation. You knock first.
Network's never met this person before and can't tell from, the business card who it is. But she's got a general idea, seeing as there was someone who was meant to arrive today, and this isn't one of her usual people. So this is nice.
And he's
This
being
is
very polite and knocking.
This is polite one. Network likes. Network get. And then all of a sudden it's just Network realizes, wait, she doesn't want to randomly open the door to a stranger because she remembers stranger danger because that happened after the whole Scribbles and Sally incident that while back. There was a lot more stranger danger talks after that. So she's a responsible Network. And she immediately goes to Tornado Ride to come to the door.
Ah! Network! What's up? What's up? I was in the middle of work. What's going on?
Polite knock! Answer door, please.
Oh. Who is it?
Network don't know. Answer.
Okay. I am going. See, I'm up. I'm walking. I'm on my way. Okay, I'm going.
Every now and then.
And he's gonna go.
It gives me such the vibes of she knows what she's doing, everyone else doesn't, and she doesn't get that you guys don't know, so it's just do the thing. Of course you can do the thing, I can just beam that into your brain.
Bless her. I will get up and he'll go and open the door. Kirian! Kirian, hello!
Hello.
Come in. You want to go and talk in my office, or?
Either or is fine. He's kind of looking around because he didn't expect to step into a cozy mansion when he came up this way. He expected something a little more office-like. But this is nice. Mm-hmm. This is a nice place.
Yeah, come on in. We can have a chat over some tea. I'll get my mom, the detective at the head of the agency, who is, qualified to help with paperwork and stuff. I haven't taken my exams yet, so I can't. And you can officially meet Network in a minute. Not right now. Be patient. He sort of says to the room.
Yes, I want you to know that as he was saying that, there was an ever so slight breeze that was just starting to pick up, and it just dies back down. One of the floorboards squeaks in what might be a whine, just a "aww." Soon.
Kirian does finally drop the hood of his cloak. And now Network at least gets to see the face that was underneath the bat-eared hood.
Yes, those bat ears were ever so slightly battered by the wind, which was probably coming from outdoors. Network likes this. Network likes it.
God, Network. Excuse me. Alright, so Rai will lead Kirian through to his office.
I have posted the floor plan.
Oh, yes, thank you. So they go through the foyer, and then there's a big room, and then he goes off to the left. You can come and take a seat in here. We can put on some tea, and we'll figure out what kind of paperwork you want. And we can go from there. How have things been?
Oh, they've been all right. Things have actually been rather quiet. I've been getting ready for the craft fairs that usually run around fall.
Ooh, what kind of craft fair? What kind of craft do you do?
Oh, I whittle, and I'm gonna roll a hammer's face to see if he actually pulls the thing that I want him to pull, even though it's technically not actually a thing in his hammer's face.
That's right.
Oh!
Hey!
In that case, he pulls out a little whittled figurine of a cat.
Oh, wow, it's so good, Kirian! I love it!
Thank you.
I do woodwork too. Like, if we go into Mom's office, you may not, but if we go in there, I made the desk in there. And, oh, you know what? There's someone in town who makes stuff out of wood like this too.
I make a lot of little statuettes and bowls and such more than full furniture. It's a slightly different skill set than what I have.
Yeah, I've not really done much carving. Like, I've done a little bit. I mean, I have made a few things.
but this is really, really good. But it's it's why I was talking to one of the people that we know here in town who does a lot of this wood carving and stuff. You should talk to him. He's a hoot.
I'll have to look into it. And he doesn't put it away. He just kind of sets it on the table. He pulled it out. It's a neat trinket. It's one of the ones he's prouder of because it's cat sitting up on its hind legs with a paw up, and it's one of the more complicated ones he's done. He's rather proud of it.
Oh, it's the Japanese welcome in business cat?
Not quite. It's just a cat. It's actually a lot more detailed. It's reaching up like it's batting at something that's not there.
Oh, yeah.
There is a lot of pride in this. It is a very shiny object.
It's not actually that shiny. It's literally carved wood. Like he hasn't painted it over with a resin or anything.
Oh, trust me, to one being that is so shiny right now.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Do we need to roll?
Yeah, okay.
Do we need to roll for self-control?
Yes, actually, we need to roll for network self-control at this very moment, because fun fact for you, but things that someone puts a lot of pride into, a lot of care, that does actually come up as something that is an act of love, and so it's something that network picks up on as, you know, something that's nice and shiny and tasty. That was a wisdom save of 2.
No, network!
Oh dear.
You've put this down, okay? You put it down. You look away to look at Rai. You know what the sound of network absorbing something because they have decided it is theirs now. What's your passive perception again?
Rai's passive is 15.
Cool.
Let's see.
Brilliant. That was a 4 stealth. So yeah, you absolutely hear the noise of just tiny little bit of wood. You don't even have to turn around to where that cat was to have figured out just what might have happened.
Rai is going to be saying something to Kirian, and then he's just,
Oh, you shouldn't have put it down. Network, give it back.
What thing?
Don't play dumb. That's rude.
Network not rude. Network very polite. Yes.
Which is why you're gonna put it back on my desk.
he just sort of folds his arms, and Kirian is just talking to the room.
Network has never done anything wrong in Network's life.
I know this, and I love you, but you're going to put the cat back on the desk right now, or I'm telling Mom.
That Kirian is finally looking around like, wait.
Yes. Kirian, you put this thing down. And the cat is missing. Not as though it's been thrown on the ground or anything. It's just like, you put it was right there. Where is it? And there is the long kind.
I take it this has something to do with network.
Yes, I suppose this is how you get introduced to network. We will do proper introductions as soon as the cat is back on my desk.
Proper introduction? Okay.
Yes, I wouldn't deny you that.
Okay, Kirian.
You don't have a problem with heights, do you, Kirian?
No.
Okay, good to know.
Cool. So, as you guys are talking, you both look at each other. There is the exact noise again, and you can hear wood on wood as the cat is put very nicely, very pristinely back on the desk. It honestly looks as though it's just been slightly smoothed over, like if there was any dust or anything slightly on it from the pocket, that's gone. Kirian, my sweet, wonderful, polite boy, could you roll me a strength save, please?
Oh no. This boy is a sorcerer, and you've asked for him for strength?
Yeah. This is how we roll.
Admittedly, it's not that horrendous, but that's a 13.
I
That's
rolled.
not bad. Not bad at all.
So, I forget how I used to do this, but I have elected to do it as a sort of grapple. And so you use athletics, which network has a +10 in.
Oh no.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Which network rolled an 18 on. So 28. So
Oh, no.
Kirian, you see your cat in perfect condition. You also see, strangely, everything on the desk that has paper or anything seems to have a paperweight on it as well. You don't get more than a second to clock that before, Kirian, you're airborne.
Whoa!
There is a warm tornado and you are at the eye of it. Yes, you are being spun. You are being rotated in as many directions as this apparent being sees fit. There is the humming again. Hello, you have been introduced to the humming part 2 electric boogaloo.
And there's just Rise standing on the ground, very calmly going, Kirian? Network. Network? Kirian.
There's a lot of flailing. Hello?
Hello. You can't hear the words, but it just happens, and there is more of that excited humming. And then seeing you flailing, they try and figure out whether it's the flapping of I want to go higher or spin me in a different direction or what. And so she's just rotating you in different ways to see how you flail.
It's more, I'm trying to get my balance because it has been stolen from me.
Congratulations. You are only being rotated with your head upright.
Okay. Okay. This is a thing that's happening.
Yeah. Network. I think that's probably enough. Put him down.
Aww, one more spin for network.
180 degrees, and then on the floor, please.
Very good. Network accepts. And there is just, specifically to do this 180, the best way to describe it is, you know when you have something in the bath that goes down that little whirlpool and so it gets to the bottom? Basically, you are tornadoed the full 180 so that you are on the ground when it's over.
Yeah. He probably stumbles a little bit with, like, hands outstretched to regain balance. It's like, okay. Did not anticipate that.
She's very enthusiastic. Surprise! This is network.
And he sort of does a hand gesture with both arms to gesture to the whole room.
Oh, this is a living house. Okay.
Yeah. You heard of Genius Loci before?
Bidden one, actually.
Oh!
Did
Cool.
not find out until the end, though.
That's normal. That's very, very normal. Okay. Well, yeah, that's network. You would have spoken to her on the phone, which she's not supposed to answer because there is precisely 2 people who understand her, who aren't also Genius Loci and would not be calling her on the phone.
Oh, that was the humming and the chimes. Well, that answers that.
Yeah.
It's pretty
She's
humming.
very helpful, aren't you, network?
And yeah, you are getting slightly head ruffled at that, right? Just, yeah, she is helpful. Thank you for noticing. So she's so helpful today.
Bless.
Okay, so, paperwork, right? Let me go and get Mom. I think she'll be able to figure out what you need a lot faster than me. I'll be right back. You can play with network. in the meantime.
Okay. I kind of want a rule of coolness just because she's a dramatic shit.
Which
Do it.
she are you talking about is my question. There are
So,
two very amazing she's here. I want to know which one is going to be the most dramatic in this moment.
they can work in tandem. So, Rye, you say you're gonna go and get your mum. And as you say that, you can hear, in fact, both of you roll me perception just because it amused me.
Wait, that's not the right one.
Perception.
I have a decent perception.
Please
I
stay
hope.
in the tray.
What was
Thank
your-
you.
Percepi, that was the one. You're doing shockingly well today, Kirian, considering you're around detectives.
Indeed. We love to see it. So, you guys, well, Rye, as you've said, you're not the only person who can understand network. And network's been humming through the entire house this entire time, just maybe focused on you. So, someone else in the house has known this entire time this conversation was happening, and started figuring out when you guys were starting to key into, right, someone else is going to need to be introduced. And so, as you say this, just like, to come to get tea, or to come to get Lynn, the door to your office opens, and there is a tray of tea that comes in from an unseen servant. And with that perception, you don't get beamed in the head by it. It just comes past very nicely. And then you just hear, "So I hear someone needed help with the paperwork."
Oh, hi, Mom. Good timing.
"Aye, son. Yes, I have impeccable timing sometimes." And she strides in. And for once, I'm gonna use reference art for her, just slightly different because I like the outfit I drew her in for this one.
Oh.
So
In the meantime, I've just got Rye in the corner going, impeccable. Lol.
exactly.
He's just quietly giggling in the corner, don't mind him.
So you do have this. Kirian, this is the first time you've actually seen this person. So there is this 3'6" monkey. And she's wearing a nice jumper. Very much doesn't quite seem what you'd expect on a normal detective, perhaps. Or maybe it's the genre. But just comes in this autumnal-themed, pumpkin-themed jumper. The green skirt, a cane in her hand, as she's just coming in, making the rhythmic pattern of moving. And in her other hand, her other gloved hand, she's got a file already. And she just flashes you a smile and goes, "Kirian, I presume."
He actually kind of bows his head a little bit because he is a little bit. I don't remember what the real kind equivalent is, but he's basically got a little bit of Japanese in him, and as such, he's got that a little bit in his manner upbringing. So, you meet someone important, you bow slightly.
Bless.
So he does that, and he's messy haired. He's got his cloak of the bat. His hair is probably even messier than normal. It's a very good thing he'd tied it back today.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got his cloak of the bat on, which covers most of him, at least until like knee length. And it is cloak in the way of an actual like cape cloak, as opposed to how they illustrate them on the cards.
Mm-hmm.
And he just bows politely and says, "It's nice to meet you, ma'am."
Pleasure's all mine. Welcome in. And you are the person who is in need of some fine paperwork, eh?
Yes, I am. I don't really have any at the moment.
Don't worry, you're not the first one to have that sort of situation. Yeah, we've had plenty in the time, and thankfully, I've got rather good at sorting it all out.
Including me.
Indeed, including you, including immigration, that's another one. One of my star informants, I had to sort it all out for him. That was a little interesting, I'll admit. But this'll be a dull on that front. Alright, so let's get set up. Rai, can I borrow your desk, or shall we take this to mine? Your call.
I don't mind, but if we go into your office, Kirian can see the desk.
Oh ho ho, you've talked about your fine desk. My son's probably said this, but he's a master craftsman. Pick and fantastic craftsman.
I don't think I said that.
Well,
Yes.
I shall say it again. Master craftsman.
Yes, he mentioned it when I pulled out one of my cats, and he gestures to the little wooden cat that he still hasn't put away yet. He hasn't gotten that far.
Oh, ain't that pretty? Well, I'll be.
Thank you.
Aye, intricate. Gorgeous, in fact. You've got a fine eye and a steady hand.
Okay, at that he turns pink. Like, even the ear tips turn a little pink at that and goes, "Oh, thank you."
And she just smiles and then just gives a little nod and just goes, "So, the fabulous office. I can actually hang up that call to Mr. A. Fantastic. Okay, this way." And she just turns around and she just tucks the file under her, like, close to her chest again, and then just makes her way. And then she just goes, "We'll take the tea en route." And the unseen servant who just put the tea down on the table picks it back up and follows.
I think Kirian finally snags his cat.
Yep. Good, because if it was left, Network would have done the 5-second rule.
Kind of snags it, and he sticks it in a pocket and just follows after. Like dog. Because he's like probably the last one to get moving, because he wanted to snag his cat.
Mm-hmm.
Rai would have let Kirian out of his office first. He's like, nope, politeness.
Politeness, because we are surrounded by polite boys.
I didn't realize that Kirian would set the tone with that.
Rai has always been a little polite boy.
He's always been a little polite boy. He's very sweet. Network loves this. This is another reason why he gets tornadoed so much.
Yep. Alright, so we go back into that main central room and then up to Lynn's office, which is opposite the front door. I am just going to grab the picture of the desk while we're at it.
Yeah.
Yes!
Ah.
All that desk took was divine intervention to make as well. Different divine.
Yeah, in a roundabout way. We don't want to repeat a performance, though.
No.
There is a reason why Quinn, the character, is not allowed anywhere near Rai.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear. But anyway, that's the picture of the desk.
It is a wonderful desk. And I will say, Kirian, the room that you walk into now, it's while the monkey herself seemed very homely and cozy, this room that you walk into, oh yeah, no, that is senior detective. With the amount of headlines on the walls and different mementos and different things and left, right, and centre. And behind the desk itself, the emblem of this entire agency on this back part of it behind the desk. No, yeah, senior detective. Okay, yep.
Yeah.
This is official room.
Yeah. If either of them actually turned to look at his face, they would see basically, yes, this is what I expected when I was coming here.
Yes.
Rather than Rye's office, which is still like he doesn't have anywhere near as much. He is very much the apprentice here.
Mm-hmm. It's still got a few headlines in it. Network will not have allowed him not to have them. Like, straight up, Network would have just shooped them onto the wall.
It's from like the Osman case in particular.
Indeed. And all the missing cases, the missing person ones from the K9 case.
Oh yes, that one too.
Lynn has gushed about her son on that case to at least one detective, I hope you know. She canonically went off in the Tome FPS about how awesome he was in that.
Aww. Oh, I did not actually know that. That's lovely.
But as you're coming in, what are the passive perceptions of both of you again?
15.
11.
Cool. It's not high enough to get this, but just as you come in, as you get settled, Lynn does gesture to the chairs that are in front of her desk and just goes, "Please, have a seat. Feel free to move it around the other side as you see fit. After all, this is the junior detective's case. I'm helping out with the paperwork. Excuse me a moment." And she goes over to a small phone that's off to one side, and then just turns away and says some stuff onto it, and then just goes, "All right, thanks for the help, eh? I'll talk to you later." And then just hangs up. So, I'm all yours.
Okay. Thanks. So Kirian, you're probably best set to explain what you need, but I gave Mom the rundown of the stuff that we were talking about when we talked last, so she kind of knows the backstory of you.
If he just sort of does this up and down gesture, head to toes, then toes to head is like generally you.
He kind of nods a bit and goes, "Well, that does make things easier. Well, I suppose it might be easiest to be blunt, detective, but I don't legally exist at all."
Mm-hmm. Aye, that tends to happen in, well, your kind of situation. Not ideal for you. How are you handling it all?
If I'm being honest, probably not well, but I haven't had the time or the resources to do better.
Well, let's hope we can change past.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Well, hopefully we can change part of that. It's getting people into a good situation as best as possible opens avenues. I'll make sure to put some therapists on the line. I've got a few that can help out in this situation. But you're in luck, as you're not the first person I've done this kind of whole song and dance with. Mainly it's just answering a few questions, and, well, I've already got most of the paperwork expedited through. We just got to put a name to it all. I've got a few talents in this area.
She's very efficient.
Thank
I
you.
am. It's done in
Thank
Happy
you.
to help. Okay.
I suppose what the questions are, or what are the questions?
Alright. First of all, given your unique situation, one of the things that we would need to... And she actually... As she's talking, she's come to sit behind her desk and just full on goes business mode. You see this... The warm softness kind of changes to warm professional as she leans forward on the desk and just goes, "Okay. Given your unique situation of how long you have actually lived, we need to decide whether you're going to be a... Let's see, how to put it. Well, first of all, what's your specific design? Let's see.
And here's where I need to take a moment to think.
He's, what do you call it? Frankenali, isn't he?
That's his sub race, yeah. He's Frank Nolly, but the design he has leans somewhere between Ghiblian and Tezukanaden.
And what Lynn does is she kind of squints and tilts her head to one side for a moment and goes, "Alright. Design-wise, you suit a couple of things. You don't look as though you just jumped out the well. So the thing we need to work with here is figuring out when you formed." And she puts that in quotation marks. Hypothetically, I'd say we could have you jumping out the ink pot a week ago. Obviously not, seeing as you've actually had a record as of working or being at a hotel, so we could work it back to the day you started the hotel. If you've got any events before then, we can jump it back to then. At the same time, if potentially you wanted your whole idea of when you formed to be before then and before your unique awakening, shall we say, we can also do that so you don't have to say you read something up that you actually remember. Sort of we're trying to figure out where you fit in the whole time-space thing. Does this make sense so far?
Yes, there is something that may be able to help. I grew up in Nefli, and I think around, I want to say about 10 years ago, there was a slightly amusing but also not incident with some amateur wizards near the records offices. I can't remember exactly which one. I want to say it was the hospital records. Fire spell gone very wrong. It wouldn't be hard to claim that the papers were there, and I only recently got around to getting new ones.
Alright, that could work. That might raise, if you before all this were there, that could raise things if someone tries to follow a paper trail at the same time. That could work. That could very potentially work. Alright, so I can get on that. I know enough people. Which area did you say? Could you point out on that front? We got maps. There is a map that just forms on the wall, both a wider than Einquell and also an Einquell and also a here are the counties.
He points to a coastal city labeled Nefli that's rather close to the Ducktail Peninsula and says, "That is my hometown." And it's on Einquell.
Interesting. Alright, we can work with that. Same hometown, that'll probably make certain things like passwords and such easy.
And it's a place that I actually know, which means if anyone asks, I can't say something that wouldn't be true.
Indeed. Alright. And she starts writing on her notes that she's got, like, in front of her. Rye, could you roll me an insight, please?
Yeah, I can. Oh, dear. That's not good.
You can have advantage because there's network.
Okay. That is not that much better.
Okay. So, Ryan, you can tell your mum is thinking about something. Thinking something over. And she kind of glances at you for a moment as she's doing it. And you get the feeling she's trying to project something about the case. But you can't quite figure out what specific question or topic or thing she's trying to catch your eye about.
She is going to get just a blink, blink.
Meanwhile, Kirian has not noticed this at all.
Tell you what, because you are a smart boy, roll me investigation if you like.
Okay, he gets advantage on that. Okay. 9s, and only 9s. Cool, love that. Last
Bless
3 rolls
you.
have been a 9. What's your investigation? You're proficient in
Not
that.
even 6.
No.
If you get another bad one, I'm going to say that I will roll on one of my dice for you. And see if my metal
That's a
dice will be nicer.
15.
Okay. With a 15, you can kind of get one thing that seems potential of if someone was taken the body, that sort of stuff, if everything seems to lead back to one place, might be a beacon in the future for events. Maybe that's what she's getting at. Maybe, you don't know. You're starting out here. You're trying your best.
Alright, yeah. There is gonna
to you.
He is gonna give her that blink. I don't know. I'm not picking up what you're putting down, but then he's gonna sort of think about it and look up at the map.
Was your name Kirian before you? It was Kirian before you died, right?
Yes, Kirian Blackwell. I've always had that name.
I'm wondering whether or not it's a very common first or second name, because there are some names that you can just use over and over and over and over, and it makes finding people with those names so hard. Like, have you ever tried to look up somebody whose name is John Smith? It is so hard. But if you got a more unique name on your paperwork, as someone who, there's a headstone for. Because, I mean, I think I said this before when I was talking to you before. Literally the only thing of you that I could find, because you don't legally exist, etc., was your death certificate.
Yes. The matron at the orphanage usually kept a lot of birth certificates and such. It was a trusted place to keep those sorts of things. And she didn't really... I think the word I'm looking for is digitalize a lot of those. You had to show up in person to get them. But I know that my surname, Blackwell, it's spelled a little unusual, but Blackwell is not actually that uncommon a name.
Because if I remember correctly, and you said that the person who brought you back is in this version of you. You gave me the impression that it was opportunistic rather than targeting you in particular.
Yes.
I'm just wondering if we give you paperwork with the same name as someone who is dead, whether or not that would raise questions or have someone come after you or things like, especially seeing as you were pretty paranoid when I tracked you down.
Well, that's because I've already had a run at the bounty hunter.
Oh?
That is not information you gave me before. That is important.
I must have... I've mentioned it to someone else before. It was bad luck, and it was a bounty for information, not for bringing back.
Right. What was the name of the bounty hunter? How long ago was this? What information?
A few months before last year's Animus. And their name was... and pardon me as I hurry and look for the name because I don't remember it either. I did an FPS with this person. It was... Of course I didn't link it. because that would have been smart of me. No, that's not what I was trying to open.
Take your time, it's all good.
I will have you know that Lynn had kind of just fully looked up in the... All of the softness is still there, but then all of a sudden, oh shit, no, you are looking at senior detective. Just, the softness is slightly put back in the, right, this is serious.
I found the FPS. I think I had it written down in its description. What is their name? I did it with Tala, and they have this little bounty hunter character whose name I didn't write it down. Why didn't I write that down? They kicked his butt. That's how he remembers them.
You can just say that it was... You can just give a description of the person, by the way. I'm not going to have you suffer.
Yeah,
we can look it up off screen.
Yeah.
It was a character from Tala, a little shadow kid with a very, very big wolf. Like, probably big enough that they could ride it like a horse.
Ooh.
They were also a teenager, as he found out in the short discussion that they had before his attempt to ditch them in the Dark Night Woods didn't work. And he
It's alright, we can go and ask Tala later.
Not quite in those words. I don't quite remember their name at the moment, but I do remember that they're fairly skilled as well as fairly young, and they have a very large shadow hound.
That seems
Briar's gonna look over at Lynn.
Yeah. Lynn is looking down at the paperwork with the, oh, fucking course something else has one of those. It stays off her face for the most part, but in her head she's just thinking, oh, Shadow Wolf here. Oh, Shadow Wolves with a being that we'd had to deal with a lichen. Oh, my own situation. What is with the fucking genre? None of this is showing on her face, by the way. It is just cold professionalism as she out loud just goes, I see. All right,
Would Lynn like to roll insight for a moment?
Yes, she would.
I'm also going to let Rye roll it, considering what Kirian just said.
Yeah, right.
Yes. I can also get Network to roll on this.
If you want to, go for it.
Today?
Yeah, because Network literally is a being that works on emotions. Network, we see.
Rye is not doing great today.
Cool. Okay, I've got... Okay,
Oh,
so
poor Rye. Do you want to try rolling with Arvi to see if it'll be nicer?
Alright, I'll... That is worse! I'll take the one that came with the, the physical dice, my god.
Okay, the physical dice. He kind of has a pinched look on his face, and that's... You can't tell what that is other than maybe kind of frustration over... Yeah, he had a run into the bounty hunter. He's trying not to be too bothered with that. Lynn and Network, that pinched expression is a bit of concern, possibly for the bounty hunter, and he did say that they were young. Oh dear, they might be really young, and that could have been one of the things that threw him off. And he also definitely got his butt kicked. And he's a little pinched. On one hand, he is concerned. On the other, he's really embarrassed that he couldn't get away from this young kid and also got his butt kicked. Soundly.
He got his ass kicked by a child.
Yes.
Lynn just kind of nods and just goes, all right, we can work with this. We can work with this. Bounty hunter, everything's getting younger these days. Swear to pick.
It's a whole genre, Mom.
I know. At the same time, I wish you'd choose older people to get the plot hooks in. Ah, well. Okay, so we've got that information. And it was a bounty for information. Well, we'll keep an eye out for that bounty hunter in specific, and we'll also keep an eye out on the market for information. I've got a few people who are rather good at changing the perceptions on things, giving the nudges on information.
Yeah.
We can set up some false leads and such.
Yes.
What information were they asking you for?
It wasn't so much that they were asking me, so much as they wanted to know where I was.
Did you get who the person who was asking for the information was?
No, but I have a fairly good guess.
The person who did this?
Most likely. It's the only one I could think of.
So, they're looking.
Looking but not hunting, and I'm...
Well, I mean,
that's
if they
going to change.
if they made you through some sort of unethical science experiment or what have you, they probably want to see how their experiment's getting on, make sure you're not falling apart or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I like that thought, though.
Yeah,
no.
the pinched look is back on his face, and because Network and Lynn got so good, there's definitely the pinched of, I think that may have already been covered with other subjects. I don't like thinking about that. That's going in the box. It's being shoved away for later. Not going to let myself dawdle on that particular train of thought. Don't like it.
Don't worry. I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. We've got some big cases going on, though, so as long as you're still safe, I gotta keep it shelved just for a minute. If that's okay. As soon as you're not safe, then I'm gonna jump on it. But, like, if you're safe, I'm gonna take my time and get it right for you, so you don't get into any trouble or danger.
Yeah. He's nodding at that, and there's definitely a small smile. It's like, I appreciate that.
Alright. We can work on muddying the waters in the information market on that front. False lead setups, different circumstances, decoy switches. I've got a few ideas on that. And Rai, as a junior detective, I'll help you figure out how to tap into certain markets better. So while you're here, you might not have to fully shelve everything. You can start peering out unseen. Well, we'll get on that later on. I'll have a chat with you. Alright.
Okay.
But seeing as we're dating you back 10 years on front, name's gonna be interesting.
You might need a pseudonym.
I was thinking, are you particularly enamored with the surname that you had? That might be a good one to change slightly, so if people come looking, you can just go, yeah, annoying habit, someone else had a very similar name. It's something I've done for certain other people. It's good for muddying searches when you're close but no dice.
I'm a little on the fence about it just because my surname and one other thing are really the only thing I had before of my family.
I understand entirely.
We could change the spelling. Keep it phonetic.
Or we could always add a surname in. It's your surname that you have at present. Keeping it, it could become a middle name. That way, it's still yours, you still refer to it. By all legal reasons, it is you. We just add something else to muddy the waters.
That could work.
Alright. Let's see. Are there any ones that you've always wanted to try? It's witness protection. We try and keep things, well, this isn't witness protection, this is identity creation. At the same time, certain parts of it mesh well. We try and keep it a similar letter or such, normally, but if you've got any ideas for a surname you want to try.
None off the top of my head, but I can take a moment to think of some.
Of course. I've also got a few in the background on certain matters that could potentially help, but we can chat over that afterwards. Right now, your safety is our priority, and keeping you away from this perpetrator. Alright.
And once he's dealt with, we can always legally change your name back to what you want it to be, right? We can do that, right, Mom?
Aye, absolutely. It's what I do on several cases. So, I won't name any names for obvious reasons, but I've had people... Indeed. I've had people who come out of my agency's protection and go back to the whole identity they used to have. It's... Once this is all over, I can even help you get your everything straightened out, including death certificate if you so choose. Or keeping this entire new identity. It's all up to your choice when the time comes.
Oh, you've just handed me something weird. How do I put that into words?
I love when they do that. They're like, what?
I kind of know this. This is a thing I knew he would probably have a hang up of, but I didn't expect you to expect him to hit me with it this soon. Which is that...
Yeah, but...
Yeah, which is that he's legally dead. Everyone from home thinks he is deceased. He was a kid who grew up in an orphanage. The friendships that he had were really the closest he had to family, and they all, as far as they know, think he's dead.
Oof.
And he has no idea how coming back saying, no, actually, I'm not actually as dead as everyone, including the people who raised and grew up with me, thought I was.
And buried him in an actual grave.
Yeah, that's a really awkward thing. That's something he's wildly unable to comprehend just because he hasn't come to emotionally figure out what he wants to do in that circumstance.
You don't have to figure it out now if you don't want to. For the time being, we just set you up with something now, and then down the line, when all this is wrapped up, then you can decide what you want to do.
That would probably work better.
Alright. Okay, we can work with that. Let's see. Yeah, I can work with that. We'll work on the surname sort of thing. I can get your materialization certificate all sorted on that front and get it all passed through. Certain IDs. Let's see. Alright. I'll need an ink marker from you, so I'll need to take a sample of your ink, get it all set up with the ECCR and such. Have you got any vehicle proficiencies?
No.
Alright, good. That straightens out certain parts of things. Alright. Same hometown, situation there. Ink markers, I can work with that. Other than that, I can get you all your paperwork in order so that you can get a home within... let's see, how long did Mr. A push it? About 24 hours from now.
Oh, that's a lot faster than I thought.
I told you, she's very efficient.
Indeed, and I did have 2 days forewarning.
That also. You calling ahead really helped.
Mm-hmm.
Mama always said it was rude to drop in unannounced.
Well, you could take an advisement from the people who live here. You're always welcome to drop in unannounced or otherwise. We just cannot guarantee that we'll be here, because we have work.
Indeed. And we do have other people in the family. But honestly, come by if ever you need help, or if you just want to chat, okay? My son, he's excellent at conversation.
We could go to the workshop. I can show you my workshop. We can make stuff out of wood. Or if I'm not home, you could go and see if our local pumpkin-headed weirdo is here in the pumpkin patch. He makes stuff out of wood too.
Yes, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
I was going to say he's not weird, and then I actually thought about it for a second, and I'm going to keep that shut. Alright. Alright, yeah, I can get this and other paperwork through. I've already got the rest of the ideas on it. All I need is your signature here, here, and here. And other than that, if you have any specific documentation that you are desperately needing, you can either send it to here. And she just starts sliding things over the desk. Just goes, if you've got any other things, fill that out. For any extras that you desire, we can even get receipts on certain things. Other than that, we're good to go.
Yeah. He just starts signing. Like, as soon as you hand him a paper and say, sign here, he just goes. Like, there's a certain level of autopilot that you think might be from being a real kind who, you know, was more likely to actually get those papers and actually sit down and sign them on the spot.
You do get a moment of her just going, you didn't even read the fine print. Okay.
I think you would be one of the last people who would try to con me with that.
I know, but at the same time, the principle.
Oh,
Don't worry.
I have dealt with that kind of thing, but like I said, just from what I've seen so far, you're the last person I would expect to attempt that. And
Just
I mean
be
that in
really
the
careful,
nicest way.
because now you're gonna be legally held to anything that you sign, because you will legally exist. So,
Indeed.
I've done that before, and I will likely do it again. And he kind of has that
Kirian.
kind of look on his face of, I knew someone who tried to pull these tricks, and believe me, he wasn't very good.
I will also put out a life insurance on you. And yeah, Lynn just absolutely gets to work. She will also be foisting tea on you. And a biscuit. You're too skinny. Take the biscuit, polite boy.
Oh, he will. He absolutely takes the biscuit, and he probably, like, sticks it in his mouth while still signing things.
Bless. Okay, that is adorable. I'm looking at the time myself and just like, is there anything else we wanted to cover in this FPS?
No, I don't think so, although, before Kirian leaves, considering the way the house acted earlier, oh good, that was just the number I was hoping for. Because it's a 10, I'm going to say he also has one of these. He pulls out a new wooden figurine. One that was not the cat that he showed earlier, and he says, since you've all been so welcoming as well as helpful, I'm just going to give you this one. And it's the little monkey.
Okay, Kirian, with the highest respect, you're getting tornadoed again.
Yes.
Rye just as soon as you put that, like, pull that out so you can have this, Rye just sort of puts his hands on the papers on the desk.
batten down the hatches. Here we go.
That's
You
like probably
see-
just enough of a cue for him to brace himself.
Rye puts the hands on the table. Lynn also does. Lynn gets silly eyes that she's tamping down on, and then vroom! Polite boy is yeeted.
Oh, okay. Thought that might happen.
You have a very good way of making friends, Kirian.
Yes, well, if I'd realized that people liked my figurines that much, I would have done it more. I think that's... Oh, gracious, that's 3 now?
Yes, you should make more. They're very good. It's better than the monkey I made.
Shush, your monkey was amazing. Also, Kirian, you said 3, and so Network has taken that as incentive to basically 360 you. God. I think that's a pretty good way to zoom out of just the, you know how as I said to you guys before, the Pokemon end thing where it zooms out with the pencil sketch styling. So we've just got these two on the ground just looking up, and we've just got Kirian Tornado 360.
I love it. Love it, love it. It's so good.
This boy now legally exists.
Yay!
Hooray! Identity!
Oh, this has been remarkable. I love them.
Yay! I adore Network. Genuinely, they're so cute.
She is a sweet pea and a sweet bean, and she is full of chaos.
And
That's why we like her.
it's the best kind of chaos. It's the loving chaos.
Yep. Oh, she might be, 15 years old now? But
She would be. It was her birthday on Halloween.
Yeah!
Surprise! The child is older.
Actually, I think Kirian's about 27, so it's not too kooky.
Bless. You have no idea of the ages of genius loci. They can get old.
We look at Kara. We look away.
Network's a baby eldritch being. Anyway, before we derail any further, shall we say goodbye to our wonderful audience?
Thank you for listening, everybody.
Goodbye and good night, all you wonderful people.
Bye-bye.
Bye.